Oh, hey there. Come on in. We're just about to start. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian, a fun weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy lifestyle. I'm Rob, and together with my wife Sandra, we invite you to join us on this informative and entertaining journey through the complex world of healthy eating.
Join us each week as we strive to help you with transforming your overall health and relationship with food through up-to-date, evidence-based nutrition information. Are you struggling to get control of your weight through the menopause transition? Do you cut calories by fasting and eating only plant-based to help curb your intake? Today, we address some of the common strategies that I see when women are going through this life stage and what the nutritional issues are that may actually compound the problem and accelerate aging. Stay with us to hear all about this complex but common dietary scenario.
Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Rob.
How's it going?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. So what's happening today?
This is a little bit of a case study. It's not an actual person, but it's some themes that I hear. So I'm not quoting an actual client or someone in a group, but it's a theme. So
The common kind of stuff you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then we're going to analyze it and help this person with their nutrition.
We should have a name for the person. How about is it a female concern or a male concern?
Let's say Brenda.
Okay, I was going to say Kelly, because then it could be either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, either. Whatever. Our person.
Okay, let's say Kelly. That's
okay,
good.
Kelly.
Okay, Kelly says, I'm going through perimenopause and work out regularly, and I'm fasting until 1 p.m. every day. I'm trying to lose belly fat. I eat 1 meal a day, and I'm vegetarian.
It sounds like a female question to me. Unless all those symptoms can apply to men too, minus the menopause bit.
Well, andropause for men.
Sure, okay.
I mean, it's not usually a typical thing, but when men are undergoing prostate cancer treatment, they have andropause. But anyways, we're not going there. We're going to talk about this this question from Kelly.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's look at what's going on here. So going through perimenopause, so the menopause transition. Oh, one thing I want to ask you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the definition of menopause is?
Oh, man.
Okay, that's okay. I'll just tell you.
Yeah, you don't know where that will go with my answer, so maybe you just better, yeah.
We've been doing in-person groups recently, and we talk about this. So menopause is actually 1 day on the calendar.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just like the switch gets flipped off.
It's 1 year after a woman has her last period.
Oh, really? That's what you mean by that calendar day.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so up until that point, it's kind of perimenopause, so P-E-R-I, or now they're calling it the menopause transition. So anyways, it can start as early as mid-30s, where you start having changing hormones like your estrogen, progesterone. Things are starting to feel different in terms of body composition, your energy. You could have symptoms like menopause symptoms or perimenopause symptoms like hot flushes, night sweats, brain fog, low energy, belly fat. Menopause is another word, which is
menopause.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Man.
There's so many different things. So, and women, some women feel like all of a sudden their body composition is changing and they don't know, they haven't changed anything, but their body's changing on them. So a lot of people start working out and try to eat less because that's always worked in the past.
Right, I see.
So you work out more and eat less. And in the past, that's worked to get the 5-10 pounds off. But with the changing hormones, with the estrogen levels dropping and progesterone, it's all makes it more difficult.
To lose that weight, you mean?
To lose the weight, but also there's some metabolic changes happening. So the way your body processes carbohydrates, for instance, might be changing. So when it was fine before to have a Danish or a donut or whatever, now you might start to have blood sugar spikes, and your body might not be dealing with that sugar as well as it used to.
Your body reacts differently now because of the hormonal changes that are taking place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because we have estrogen receptors on all parts of our body. So what happens is when we don't have the same levels of circulating hormones and estrogen and progesterone, then our body isn't getting the same stimulation from those hormones because it's not happening.
Right. I see.
So there's a lot of things going on. So let's get to this question here.
All right.
So Kelly says, I'm going through perimenopause and work out regularly, and I'm fasting until 1 p.m. I wake up and I don't eat until 1 p.m. basically. Mm-hmm. And she eats one meal a day. So it must be at that point.
Right.
And because she's trying to lose belly fat. Oh, there was another thing. Did I say that she's vegetarian?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Okay. So the issues here, perimenopause or the menopause transition, she's aging. We are all aging, but aging is a catabolic process. So you know what catabolic process means?
Not offhand.
It's a breakdown.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So we're breaking down muscle, we're breaking down bone, we're breaking things down. That's catabolic.
And that's menopause, you said, is a catabolic.
Just aging.
Oh, sorry. Aging.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And she is fasting. And a lot of the research in fasting for longevity, because a lot of people are kind of doing that, mm-hmm. A lot of that research is in men.
Right. And
it might benefit men, but it is also like if you're not eating, then you're fasting. So it's a catabolic process too. Mm-hmm. So it's actually better when you wake up, to have something within the first 2 hours of waking up. And if that something includes protein, that's really good.
Yeah, we've done an episode before on eating protein for breakfast, the importance of that. And especially, like you said, for women, because it's not as good for women to be fasting as it is potentially for men.
Yeah.
According to the research.
Exactly. And I'm not just saying just protein. It can be like a balanced meal, including protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, that's good. So the 1 meal a day, or OMAD, is a term. So that's the...
Oh, is that what that means? 1 meal a day.
That's right.
OMAD.
And it is a fasting practice. So there's all different types of fasting. We did an episode on intermittent fasting and the different definitions of different fasting. And so OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, it's so difficult to
get everything you need. I can't imagine.
I can't either.
I can't imagine how you'd feel if you were able to get everything you needed in that meal. Mm-hmm. How much food would you have to consume in that one meal?
A lot.
That's insane. Yeah.
I know. I mean, yeah. To get the protein requirements that you need, the fiber, the vitamins, minerals, all your macronutrients, so your fiber and your fat and carbs, it would be really difficult. And then to layer on that, vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly.
So this sounds to me more like trying to control what's going on with the hormones and the changing body composition with a diet, an extreme diet. Mm-hmm. It's quite extreme, actually, because do you think this is sustainable?
No, absolutely not.
Like the eating 1 meal a day and basically fasting until, midday, just eating them once and then not eating again and only vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
What I see is this would set someone up to be a frail little old lady in 10 years.
Really? And just because they're weakening their body through that process?
Yes.
They're probably losing muscle. They're not getting enough nutrients, so their body's eating their muscle and they're breaking things down. And yeah, maybe they're going to lose weight in this process, right?
Sure, but is starvation a good way to lose weight?
Well, it works.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people look at it as starvation because they're following the principles of whatever diet they're following. So they think they're doing something right. And they're like, hey, I'm succeeding because the scale says so. But you're right. 10 years from now, they're going to be different shape. Literally.
Yeah, literally. And, you know, people might say in a few weeks, oh, don't you look great? And, oh, you've lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not helpful because this person is trying to obviously, lose belly fat, but you can't necessarily target areas in your body.
Yeah, despite what the internet tells you.
Yeah. And it's really, vegetarian, the quality of protein isn't as good. Like you don't get the same complement of the essential amino acids that we do when we eat animal protein.
Right.
So animal protein basically has all the right complement of amino acids to build organs and brain and muscle and bone. And plant-based proteins have non-essential amino acids, and they have those amino acids for building blocks of the plant structures, the roots and the leaves and the trunks, all the things that plants have. So animal protein is something that humans are meant to eat.
Right.
So it's hard. I think it's easier for a young person to be vegetarian than an older person because of the amount of calories you need to eat as a vegetarian to properly get all the nutrition you need.
Oh, I see.
Including the protein, especially the protein.
Mm-hmm.
So because we really need probably, depending on the person, the size, the, age, gender, everything, it's good to have about 30 grams of protein at a meal.
Right.
Or maybe possibly more, and then snacks in there too, just to maintain the turnover of protein in your body. And protein's not just muscle. It's our immune system. It's the makeup of our body, our skin, our organs, our brain, our heart, our liver.
I'm guessing if someone's on a vegetarian diet a lot, and if someone's doing the 1 meal a day thing, there's going to be a lot of like synthesized food, like protein shake kind of things where everything's all in this one little packet. It's everything you need, right?
You're smart, Rob. That's very
that's
smart.
how you can do it, right?
Yeah, you almost have to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like have those protein powders that have everything, like all the complement of amino acids in them.
Yeah.
But again, is that sustainable?
And is that something that you want to be doing for long term?
I know. And
as your main source of food, well, it isn't food, is your main source of nutrition, I guess. It's like, yeah, anyway, it's not my cup of tea, but I guess people have their priorities for health are different.
Yeah. And if this was a client and they were adamant to keep this lifestyle with vegetarian, fasting until 1, eating 1 meal a day, I would say, well, you have to carefully plan the meals. It probably isn't sustainable. And also you don't want to replace a lot of the protein foods with just rice or wheat because they lack the essential amino acids of lysine and threonine. So remember rice and beans? People used to say, oh, you pair rice and beans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because the rice doesn't have the level of lysine or threonine, which is essential amino acid. Same with wheat. So if you pair them with a legume, like the beans,
right,
or the peanut butter with toast,
yeah,
then you're getting those complements. And then that helps with maintaining their immune function because that's what lysine can help with. They all have different functions, all these different amino acids, like different functions in the body.
Okay.
And with vegetarian diet, you really are just not getting the quality of protein in the amount of food.
Right.
Like you really have to plan, and you really need to have lots of nuts and seeds and legumes.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. A lot of people don't like that stuff. So it's...
I know.
Adds to the challenge, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you might want to have like a meal, like a protein-rich lentil or chickpea or black bean meal with like tofu or edamame, which is the soybean, and sprinkled with hemp seeds or like hemp hearts, chia seeds, ground flax seeds, and then the nuts like the almonds, walnuts, peanut butter, or like peanuts or peanut butter or nut butters or seed butters. And like hummus is like it's got the chickpeas mixed with the sesame seed butter, the tahini.
Right.
So that's a really good food. Like hummus is a wonderful addition for snacks or meals.
Mm-hmm. I've been meaning to make some.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when
so
you
good.
make that. Yeah, absolutely. And then definitely, adding the whole grains. So you can have I mentioned about not having, like, don't replace the protein foods, but you can include those whole grains. Like you could try buckwheat or quinoa, like a quinoa lentil salad would be good with some veggies in there, like tomatoes and cucumbers and maybe spinach and kale, kind of like a rice bowl, like a Buddha bowl kind of thing.
For sure.
With quinoa, and then some hemp hearts sprinkled on top, maybe some tofu, marinated tofu on the side with broccoli, peppers, and carrots. And I would recommend, like, in addition, if you could, like, if it's one meal a day, but maybe like spread it out and have a smoothie that's got all those important nutrients, like the protein, the healthy fats, the fiber, the fluid, the carbs, like all of those things.
Right.
And the fruit in that smoothie, so at least it's a good quality food that you're eating. And if you keep the packaged processed food to a minimum, I mean, that's one benefit of this, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
That you're not eating a lot of junky foods or drive-through deep fried greasy foods.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's it's almost on the other extreme though.
I've said this before, and it's an interesting thing to take note of. But when people do, let's call it a change, where they're trying to make a change in their life, they want to get healthy, they want to lose weight. They do 3 or 4 different things typically. They start working out, they start eating better. They might change a few other things in their life. They might start walking more or whatever, but there's 3 or 4 different things that they're doing. And then they have results, positive results. How do you know which of those things made the difference? Maybe you don't need to eat the shakes that you have every day. Maybe it's the walking and the working out that made you lose weight, and you can just eat regular food and not change your diet at all. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before you go changing your whole life and your whole diet, maybe take a look at the other things you're doing, because it's very possible that those are the ones that are responsible for the changes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's always good to ask yourself, will I be doing this in 5 years? Like whatever lifestyle action you're doing.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? Because if it's a diet that's restrictive and penalizes you almost, and that doesn't feel good. It's hard to live in that kind of state of feeling deprivation.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So, and I think a lot of people have gone through life on different diets, and they're used to having that structure of a diet to help guide them with their choices. But we know that typically diets are not sustainable. And even if they work, I say in quotes, work, a lot of times after a couple of years, you go off the diet and you gain the weight back plus more, because a lot of times when you lose weight on a diet, part of the weight you're losing is muscle, lean mass,
mm-hmm.
and possibly bone. like your skeleton.
Yeah, true.
If you're not eating the right things, then it's the yo-yo diet effect. So you do lose weight on the scale. And we've talked about this in other episodes, how the scale means so many different things, right? It's not just people look at that scale and think fat. That's all it means. But no, there's so many things to that number on the scale. It's a fluid retention. It's your muscle, your body composition, your bone mass. There's so many things, and it's not a good indicator of health. And that was what the episode was called, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So with that yo-yo diet, you lose weight on the scale, but you could be losing lean mass and fat. And then when you start eating normally or like socially, like just regular diet again, you gain all that weight back plus extra fat because your body metabolically is trying to conserve fat and conserve energy because you did this deprivation and you were starving yourself.
Yeah, it's like you trained your body to gain weight. That's what diets
happens.
do, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So it's tricky because then as women get older and they're going through the menopause transition, which can be anywhere from age 35 on to like 55 or 60, the way their body reacts to habits and lifestyle, like their eating, their diet, their exercise, their sleep, their stress, all of that contribute to how their body functions and their weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's better just to put a little bit more effort in. It might take a bit longer, but just try to make lifestyle changes rather than go for the diet, which is like the quick fix. Don't get sucked into those diet plans that they promise the 1 week results or the overnight or the beach body by the weekend or whatever the promises are. You're better off making the lifestyle changes that you can keep forever. You change once and then you're good to go for forever, and you're not going to be doing the yo-yo bouncing around thing that most diets will have you doing.
Yeah, and try to ensure that you're getting protein in your meals. Like really important. It's so important. Protein's an essential nutrient for muscle building, for wound healing. It's for healthy hair and skin and nails and proper immune function. And it's best known for supporting the building and repairing of muscle tissue, which helps to build and maintain strength. So that's a good way to think of health as through the lens of having muscle. The cool thing also when you have protein in your meals and snacks, it has been shown to regulate appetite by filling you up and allowing you to feel more satisfied with that meal.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of keeps you feeling
full
longer.
Full, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My oatmeal's like that. I eat my bowl of oatmeal with all my stuff in it, and I'm good to go for hours.
Well, because just oatmeal alone, because a lot of people just have oatmeal and brown sugar.
Yeah.
So that's not what yours is. What is yours?
Well, it's oatmeal with essentially trail mix in it. Lots of nuts and seeds, dried fruit, hemp hearts,
So some protein with the nuts and seeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Do you put protein powder?
No, but some people do.
Yeah. Peanut butter? I do.
Yeah, you do. But peanuts, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's good. Good. Okay. So I hope that that makes sense. And we talked about some key issues there about aging, its catabolic process, the bone and muscle. And so it's good that she's working out. That's wonderful. Not that it has to be obsessive, though. I mean, just doing some weight-bearing activity. So anything that she's lifting or using gravity is good for bone mass and good for her muscle. Mm-hmm. So that's helpful to maintain lean muscle.
We're working out with the goal of health and strength as you age. Longevity, right?
And having fun.
Versus getting big muscles by summertime.
Yeah.
Which is when a lot of people go to the gym, it's one of the questions they ask you when you start working out. What's your goal? You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to have big arms and toned abs and all that. I want the six pack and
that's fine.
And yeah, but if that's your only goal, it's funny, as I age, my goals in terms of working out have changed. Because when I was 18, yeah, for sure, I wanted big pecs and big arms and all that stuff, right?
What is it now?
Well, that's nice, but it's not the top priority. Now it's like health. I want to be healthy.
Right.
You know, I want to be able to move when I'm 70. I want to be able to do the things that I'm doing now when I'm 80.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because life is good now. Why would I want that to change?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I want to be flexible. I want to be strong. I want to have a healthy body. You know, what it looks like is secondary to how it performs and how healthy it is and how long it lasts. So
absolutely.
You know, the nice pecs and the nice abs are the cherry on top.
Did you say nice ass? No, I'm just joking.
Well, that too, right? Sure, why not? We'll throw that in there. So yeah, it's all important, but yeah, just make sure that just look at what your priorities are. Everyone's different, but maybe just have a look at them and don't just assume that you're chasing the cosmetic goals over the health longevity goals.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And that's a good reason about exercise and working out. I like that for health versus how you look. Yeah, exactly. But also we've talked about this person is fasting and they only eat one meal a day because they're trying to lose belly fat with the perimenopause transition and being vegetarian. So we addressed the fasting and one meal a day, and just, if possible, it's better to eat within a couple hours of waking up if you can, and include a protein food with your meal. And it's almost impossible to get all of your fiber and protein and macronutrients, micronutrients, your vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, all these good things that we need in one meal a day. Plus, how hungry are you? I mean, oh my gosh, I'd be starving.
Oh, yeah. And where's the enjoyment of eating?
And the social, exactly. We haven't even addressed that part.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you eat with other people, like for a dinner? Or do you just decline any invitations to go out for a dinner because it doesn't fit in your window of eating?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole other issue, but really it is something to look at. Quality of life. Yeah.
And having a balance in terms of the structure of health and nutrition is important, but it's one part of life, and there's other things in life too and other priorities.
Totally, yeah.
So it's good to have that as a priority for sure. I think that's really important, and I'm glad people are realizing that what they eat and how they eat impacts the way they feel and their health now and their long-term health. So that's what we are doing here, is just helping with the different misconceptions and information out there. So it's good to think about it, but don't get obsessive if possible.
There you go. Words from the wise. Words from the wife. She loves when I call her that.
The wife.
The wife. Yeah, that's better than the old lady.
You're the old man.
Yeah, the old man. I never understood those people. But anyway, each to their own. So there you go. That's it for this episode. If you want more information about us or other things we've discussed, you can check out our website. There's a ton of information there, lots of blog articles to look into. Various authors have written for us. Various guests have dropped articles for us as well. So yeah, lots of interesting things to read there. You can also sign up for our newsletter. That's through the website. That's all at mywifethedietitian.com. You can email us your questions. We're happy to discuss things that our listeners ask. So you can email us, mywifetherd@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can drop us a line there as well. Make a comment. Just a thumbs up is fine too. We're happy with that. Don't forget to share and rate and review the show. Those are all super helpful. Both help other people find it, and it's super helpful for us to keep things rolling along here. So Much appreciated if you could do those. So that is it until Wednesday, when we will be back with Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.